Hi there. Okay, in this video, we're going to be talking about Elliott wave analysis. Now, I will tell you right now that Elliott wave analysis is still relatively new to me. There's a lot to cover in Elliott wave analysis, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the basics, to work from, because I'm still a student of Elliott wave analysis. Okay, and there are a lot of variables to take in, and I just do not have the time to study it full time. So what I have done is over the years is I've taken like 10 minutes, 20 minutes here and there out of every other month or what have you, every other week, and trying to absorb the information and then try and put it into practice. Okay, but I know I know the Elliott wave analysis, for the most part. All right, so I will give you basically what I know about Elliott wave analysis. Okay, so I'm going to go over to my whiteboard or my little cheap desk notepad here. Okay, and I'm just going to draw out what this will look like. Okay, it's not, the formation is not going to be exact when you do it, but I would just basically get these out of the way first of all. Alright, so just give me a little moment and I will get these done. Alright, this will be like a wave here, and then we'll do another one. It might not be to scale, okay, but I will do my best to try and get those done. Alright, and this will be down to here. Okay, alright, let me get me have a colour pen out. Alright, this point now, when you draw an Elliott wave, basically where you start it from, it depends on where the trend is coming in. So if we're coming in from a downtrend, we want to find a major high, okay, and then watch it come down to find that major low, and then from that major low is where you start your Elliott wave analysis. Okay, if you start your Elliott wave analysis inside a downtrend that hasn't been completed, or a low that hasn't been met yet, then what you might find is that you actually found an Elliott wave analysis form, like a formation, actually appearing inside another Elliott wave formation. Alright, so we can get around it by starting off at the beginning, okay, finding that major high, then finding that major low, and then working from that major low, and then just work with our analysis all the way through. And we're going to be using the Fibonacci tool as well, okay, to help us to get an idea if our points that we actually mark on the chart are correct. Okay, now this is where it gets a little bit difficult. Alright, but we'll move on to the chart in just a little moment, but I just want to show you basically what this will look like, and this probably will go into like a part 1 and part 2 video. Alright, but I'm going to just try and zoom in here and try and get most of this done. Alright, so here will be wave 1. This will be like a wave 0 count because you just found a major low, but if you're inside like a halfway through a trend, then this won't be a wave 0, it'll probably be something completely different. Alright, so here is wave 2, okay, here is wave 3, and here is wave 4, and here is wave 5, and here is wave A. Well, I bet you I caught you there, right? I bet you was going to say that was wave 6. Alright, and here is wave B, and here is wave C. Okay, now there's some basic rules that you need to follow. Okay, now wave 3, wave 3. Okay, now wave 3 is equal to 1.618 times wave 1. Okay, and that what that's basically saying is that the length from here to there and the length from here to there is 1.618 times the length. So this could be like 100 pips. From this distance to this distance could be 100 pips, for example. Alright, so then we need to basically add another 61.8 to that. So this distance from wave 2 to wave 3 will be 161.8 pips. Okay, that's what it basically means here. Wave 3 equals 161.8 times wave 1. So whatever that is there, then you just basically times that 100 pips by 1.618, and then you will get 161.8, and that distance from here to there will be 161 pips. I hope that's made sense. Okay, now wave 5 equals wave 1, and what this means is that wave 1 from here to there equals 100 pips, and by rights from this point right here where wave 3 is to there is basically 100%. So the way they actually draw this out is that this would equal 1.000. Okay, and then from this point here down to here it's also 1.000. Okay, and this distance from here, as we've already just discussed, okay, is 1.618. Okay, and this distance from point 2 to point A, so this distance here, how can I actually draw that in? Maybe I can draw that in like so. So this distance from here to there is 0.618. 0.618. I wish I had like a rubber that we could actually rub something out rather than actually removing all this screen draw pen on there. Anyways, alright, so we've got that marked on there. Alright, just bear with me for one moment. Alright, okay, so now we've got a retracement area here from there. So whatever that distance is will be 0.382. Okay, and okay, that's good. So let's get back into these principles here. Now we've got wave 2 equals 0.618 times wave 1. So basically we need to calculate the distance from here to there, so that if that was basically 100 pips, we want to find the wave 2 point projection, okay, and we basically calculate 61.8% into whatever this move is, so that will be 61.8 pips. So by rights that this should come down by 61.8 pips, and that will form wave 2. Okay, and then we've got wave 4, and we've got wave 4, and this is basically equals 0.382 times wave 3. And all that's basically saying is, in order to find wave 4, we need to calculate 0.382% of wave 3. Okay, so whatever this move is from wave 2 up to wave 3 could be 161.8 pips, like we was talking about before, because it was a 61.8 extension on from wave 1 up to form wave 3. So we've got 161 pips there. So that 161 pips times 0.382 will come down, I don't know, say 40%, so 60, so that'll come down probably like 40 pips or so. Alright, so from here to there could be like 40 pips. Alright, and that will give you your projection point from point 3, and then you can go short here and then hopefully target wherever you think point 4 would be. Okay, so I hope that makes some sense. Now there are 3 basic rules to the Elliott wave analysis. Okay, and the first rule is that wave 2, this one here, can never retrace more than 100%. Alright, so basically this, when wave 1 is being formed and you start seeing it peel away or pierce away from the wave 1 area, it cannot come down lower than this start of the wave 1. If it comes down lower, then it's a failed wave, and you most likely will see probably a reversal. Okay, the second rule is wave 4 may never, and I repeat, may never end in the price territory of wave 1. Now what that basically means is that you see that this is wave 4 right here. Okay, now this is where wave 1 is. Okay, wave 4 can never extend down to this area into wave 1's territory. Okay, if it does, it's a failed wave. Alright, and then you need to restart your calculations again, which can be a murder. Alright, now you got wave 3. Now out of the 3 impulse waves, now I haven't actually discussed what impulse waves are. Okay, now impulse waves, I'm going to write this down here. I'm going to explain what impulse waves are before I get into the third rule. Impulse waves are wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4 and wave 5. Okay, then we have what's referred to as corrective waves. Corrective, excuse my typing here, or my mouse writing. Okay, and corrective waves are wave A, wave B and wave C. Okay, so wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, those are impulse waves, and A, B, C are corrective waves. Alright, so our third rule is that out of the impulse waves, alright, but we're going to be out of the impulse waves 1, 3 and 5, okay, wave 3, this one here, can never be the shortest. Alright, so this one from wave 2 to wave 3, that line or that distance can never be the shortest one. It cannot be shorter than the distance of, from point wave 1, and it cannot be shorter than the distance from here up to point 5. Okay, now if wave 3 is normally what's referred to as an expansion wave or an extended wave. Okay, so once you've identified where wave 1 is, you can probably project a good area for wave 3. Now what's also interesting is you notice that how I've actually placed like wave 1, and this is right, okay, this is like 100%, this represents 100%. Right, now what I've actually seen is that this actually works out to like 261.8%. Alright, because we've got a move, well, it's around about that. Sometimes it's maybe around about 238.2. And what I mean here is basically from round about from here all the way up to wave 5. So you can basically work out what wave 5 might be by using wave 1 and timesing wave 1 by 161.8, or timesing it by 138.2 to try and get wave 5. Okay. So yeah, so the wave 3 will always be the extended wave. Okay, so it always will be the longest one out of the whole lot. All right, now also remember as well, I mean, I'll have to repeat this quite a few times, is always remember that wave 1 will always retrace at least up to around about 61.8. If it retraces down to like 38.2, then it's not really classed as a wave 1. It most likely will be classed as a wave 3 to form a wave 4 point. Okay, so with that in mind, okay, I'm going to take this screen drawer pen off and I'm going to go over to our Forex chart. I'm going to show you what it basically looks like. Okay, and what I've basically done is I've took a look, and this is on the 4-hour time frame, and I've took a look to find out where there were major highs and lows. So there's like a major low, there's a major high, and this came down a little bit more, and it formed like another major high, and then what's happened now is this major high is now giving us a major low down the bottom here. So I started from down the bottom. Alright, so I've got my wave 1, my wave 2. Now here is another thing as well that I could probably tell you about right now, is that when you start off to find your first wave, okay, like this wave 1, what you will find is that there are going to be 5 waves. Okay, now this is a key to finding all of your waves. Sometimes you will find areas in the market that don't have waves inside waves, and that basically means that extensions haven't been located. Okay, to try and put your next points in. All right, and then when it comes down, you should actually see the corrective waves A, B, C. Alright, and then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which will form wave 3, and then A, B, C will form wave 4, and then up again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then back down again A, B, C. Alright, if you follow me. Alright, let's just basically explain what I've done here. Alright, what I've done is essentially I've looked for that bottom, and I've placed this as my first of my wave counts. Wave. So some of these might actually be wrong, but I'm still trying to work out based on the moves down. So if we take this Fibonacci tool and put it to there, you can see that where the market came down to 61.8%, and it did try to bounce off once it hit it here. Let's see if I can get my screen dropping out. You can see where the market did come back down and it retraced. Well, it retraced there and it retraced down to there as well. And I'm trying to find wave 2, but with wave 2 I need to make sure that there's those corrective waves in there as well, A, B and C. Okay, and then once I've established A, B and C, C will then be my wave 2 point. Okay, and then I looked at my Fibonacci tool and I figured, okay, my wave 2 is going to be around about here, but it ended up to coming down to around about there, so I figured that was being my wave 2. These numbers here don't have to be necessarily perfect. This actually should be like wave 0, that should be wave 1, this could be like wave 2, this could be wave 3, 4 and 5, and I looked at that and I figured, no, that can't be right because it's too small. So I've just basically tried my best to fit that in, to fit 5 waves in. Alright, so yeah, I've basically put these ones a little bit the long way around. Wave 3 should be basically somewhere up here. Wave 2 should be basically down here. Wave 1, wave 1 should be around about there. That actually looks better. Alright, hang on, let's move that over down, let's say it down to alright. Okay, so we've also got to be careful as well that wave 4 doesn't fall into like the price territory of wave 1. So wave 4, see, this is where it gets a little bit complicated because you don't know where to put all your points because the formation hasn't really developed yet. But as I go along, I might have to change these points around, but for the best part I have tried my best to try and start it from this area, and from what I can tell when I'm actually using my Fibonacci tool, here is that the 61.8, I put in my wave 2 in here, and then I figured, right, okay, so based according to these rules, what I've done is that I've calculated the distance between here and there, and I've added to it. Okay, so this distance from here to to wave 1 is 315 pips. Okay, so then what I've done is try to project where wave 3 would be in the future. Okay, so I've gone from here and I've basically wanted to put in 315 pips, which is right there. I did have my wave 3 at that particular point, but when that market reached that high, I had to move my wave 3 up a little bit higher. Okay, but you're not going to get exact. I'm on there anyway, but here's to show you here from this distance to here. It's basically well, it was pretty close. I think it was 315 pips, right? There we go. So 315 pips. So let's go ahead and get our calculator out and type in 315 pips, and okay, let's work out what the retracement would be. So okay, so times 161.8. So what we need to do here is actually plus 61.8% equals 509. So 509 from point 2 should be about 509, but this actually zoops up to around about 640 pips. Right, the only reason why is that because this point here at 61.8 was extended a little bit lower. So if we went from maybe this point to there, we get 589. And what was our thing? 590, because that's this point 3 actually moved up higher than what it should have done. So if we actually measured from here to there, which was 315, wave 0 to 1 will be the same distance from here to that wave 3. So 315 points would be around about there. so I can go ahead and sort of get my projection out from this 61.8 to that line, and it's pretty close. You can see it's 512. So I know that I'm doing my calculations correctly, okay, even though I can't actually position these in the area that I really needed to position them in. It gets quite confusing, because you think, like, for the most part you go, okay, well, there's wave 1 and there's wave 2, and then you go, oh well, there's wave 3, and then when you want to go and put wave 4 in, you can't really put wave 4 in because it goes into the price territory of wave 1, so it gets a little bit confusing. So I've basically left that alone. I didn't want to delve into it too much and bust my brains over it, because there's some other areas that I can still work out how I can plot my wave 3s and wave 4s and wave 5s, and in my corrective waves A, B and C's as well. Okay. So yeah, so essentially, once once the market comes back down here, this actually came down a little bit further than it should have done. The Fibonacci tool from here down to there. Oh, let's just take it from wave down to here. I believe this. Actually, I can't see anything there. I'm going to have to move those out of the way. There's my Fibo. Just delete that one. Let's delete that one. Okay, and then I'm going to get me Fibo tool out. I'm going to take. Okay, here is the 38.2 retracement, and I was expecting wave 4 to be there, but extended down to the 50 area, which is still fine because wave 4 never fell into the price territory of wave 1. So once I drew wave 1 and wave 2 out, and when wave 3 was formed, I know that my wave 1 is in the right place because wave 4 never went into the price territory of wave 1. And plus, this came down to approximately 61.8% that we was looking for, which was the reversal that we was, intending to see anyway. And then I basically, calculated 161.8% from this distance to that distance, and then added it from wave 2 projection. So I've taken this distance to here, calculated 61.8, put my marker in, and then to try and work out what wave 3 was, I've basically taken this distance to this distance, and then added it to this one here to give me wave 3. And then when I found my wave 3 point, I've then come back down and I've calculated whatever that was, and I've divided that into 38.2, and it's giving me this area here, and that's where I basically put my wave 4 point. And then from my wave 4 point, I've calculated from this wave 3 area to find out where my wave 5 is going to be. So what I've basically done is I've taken whatever this calculation is from this low to this high that formed wave 1. If that was, well, this one's actually 315 pips, right? So from here should actually be 315 pips also. Alright, because this distance from here to there should be the 1.00, which should also equal this one over here. Alright. Alright, okay, so this is what basically all it really entails. And once you hit the wave 5, okay, these here, I mean, these like super waves, right, and these are like smaller waves within waves. Okay, so if you want to try and find these, you will see like there will be like corrective waves in them, and there will be some impulse waves inside impulse waves. Alright, and then we found that there's wave 1, wave 2, and so I've put wave 3 right at the top here, and then wave 4 down to there. Now wave 4 should have been basically down to here. So I'm not sure whether this wave 5 is actually in its right place at the moment. It could mean that this might go back up, and wave 5 might be a little bit further up, so I have to wait until into the Monday to see if I'm right, and basically move my points wherever I need to move them. Okay. Now, what's also good as well, from this you can work out whether or not that your points are actually in the right place. This is actually point A. Now, point B should actually be around about, I believe it's about 38.2%, I believe it is. from whatever this move is. So if I can take my Fibonacci tool out, and I'm going to get me Fibonacci from here down to wave A, I need to calculate 38%, which is around about here, and this area right there could be my wave B, and then from my wave B needs to line up to form a wave C, which C should be down here. Okay, and then we start off again to form like a wave one. Wave one will actually extend wave B. Okay, and if it doesn't extend wave B, then you know that all of this information here is wrong. Okay, so it's a bit of a headache, and it takes a lot of practice, and I don't have the time to actually sit there and trade it full time because I don't want to lose money. Alright, so that's why I've taken, I normally use this on a demo account and see if I can actually get them right. I'm right for the most part. I do get it, perfect sometimes. It gives you goosebumps thinking that, oh, you've just successfully worked out what Elliott wave analysis is, and then you bump into something else that you didn't kind of work out why it didn't do what it's supposed to have done, and you're like, oh dear, okay, now I've got to go back and do it all again. So it gets a bit tiring. So I won't sort of really expect you to sort of really understand Elliott wave analysis to its fullest degree. It is a bit of a headache. You can actually go to elliotwave.com, alright, and sign up for their 7-day free access. Alright, I've actually taken all of their pages and saved it. Alright, I've actually copied it to my hard drive. So that's probably something that you could probably do as well. Alright, so Elliott wave analysis for the most part, what I've explained here, I will be explaining some more Elliott wave analysis in the live trade examples when we do these trade setups, and I'll mention all the different kind of things that go through my mind, and I'll be going like, okay, well, what if I can use a pitchfork here, or what if I can actually use a median line or a trigger line, or whether I can use a bit of Elliott wave analysis, or whether I can use the esquidence, or whatever it is that I've got in my mind, different kind of strategies to work out what the market will do. And if I get some conflictions, in the results that come back, then I'm going to reset my mind and find another way of actually working out where the market will go towards. Alright, so I know that was a bit of a mouthful there to actually learn, but as I say, the basic rules that you would really need to understand, okay, again, and I will repeat these one more time before we end the video. Okay, wave 3, okay, wave 3 is here. Alright, wave 3, okay, needs to be 161.8%. Oops, 618. Let's just take that off again, just make this a little bit neater. Wave 3 needs to be 1.618 times wave 1. Okay, so whatever that distance is from that low to that high, you just calculate it by just timesing it by 1.618, which should actually give you the wave 3 projection. Okay, wave 5. Wave 5 is equal to wave 1. So whatever that distance is to this distance will be from this point to that point. Okay, and wave 2, okay, wave 2 down here, alright, will always, well, for the most part, will be a retracement of 61.8% of wave 1. Alright, so if this went up 100 pips, then you expect wave 2 to form at around about 61.8 pips lower. Alright, and wave 4 must never bite into the price territory of wave 1. Okay, now the rules, the wave, what we've just discussed are the principles, but the rules are wave 2, as I say, can oh sorry, beg your pardon, I should step back here. Wave 4 should, although wave 4 should never extend into price territory 4, that I should have actually explained that wave 4 should be approximately 38.2% of wave 3. Alright, so you would calculate the area from down here to there, and you calculate 38.2% retracement. Right, so you get your Fibonacci tool out. I calculated it to be around about here somewhere, I believe it was, but the wave 4 extended down to there. Okay, so it gives you an approximate idea. So once you've realised that wave 3 has been formed, you can then go and calculate, the distance from here to there, and then put your your TP target in at where wave 4 would be, and then you put in like maybe a buy stop order, all right, and then go ahead and do it from wave 4 and put in a projection of whatever the 100% is from of wave 1. You add it from your projection of wave 3, which will give it to you up here. Alright, and that will give you your projection for wave 5. And then from wave 5 you just calculate a 61 from here to there, calculate 61.8% to get wave A. And then once you've found these two here, you calculate 38.2% to find wave B. Okay, and then once you've found wave B, you want to come down and look at wave 4, and wave C will be around about where wave 4 ends up. Alright, and then you can calculate that, and then from where wave C is, wave 1 will then begin. Okay, so this area here could actually be wave C. Alright, and that could have been wave B, that could have been wave A, and this could have been wave 5, and these could have been impulse waves as well, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or it's basically there's some waves in there, the extended waves. You normally have like 5 waves inside a wave. Correctional waves, you'll have 3. Alright, so when you get to point C, you want to find where point A is, and if for instance that the market goes up and hits here and then comes back down again, then you know that all of this analysis is basically a little bit messed up, even though it might have worked for you for the most part. Alright, so when it does break here, okay, you've now realized that the wave is starting again. Alright, so then you wait for it to stop and then you recalculate things again. It's a bit interesting. I mean, if you want to sit there and go through it all, and if you like crunching numbers and stuff like that. But it is probably a little bit too advanced for the average person, really, if I can be honest. You need to understand all the basic principles of trading first before you can really get into Elliott wave analysis. But I figured I'd throw it into the mix anyway to see if you can actually work from what I'm actually showing you. I know my examples won't be the best. I am still learning with Elliott wave analysis, but for the most part it does give me goosebumps when I get it right. Okay, so yeah, I will give you this video to study through, and there's plenty of resources online. As I say, you can also go to elliottwave.com as well, and they will just basically overwhelm you with all of the information that they know about Elliott wave analysis. Alright, so I will leave you with this video. Bye for now.